Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we are bringing you 10 players who are just too good for the Championship. We're going for players that haven't already been promoted this campaign, so no Emi Buendia or Ismaila Sarr, but that doesn't take away from the quality of this list. Let's get into it. 10. Ilias Chair. He might stand at just 5'2" tall, but Ilias Chair has kicked on to become one of QPR's top players this season. Signed in 2017 from the now defunct Belgian side Lierse SK, who were then in the second tier, Chair spent time on loan with League 2 Stevenage in 2019, where he was described as the best player to ever play in that division. The 23-year-old, who has one cap at youth level for Morocco, was a rotation option for Rangers last season, but this term just two other outfield players have featured more than the attacking midfielder. Chair has contributed 12 goals, putting up 1.9 shots, 1.5 key passes and 1.1 dribbles in his 42 appearances this season. Earning around 7k a week, Chair is tied down in White City until 2025, with QPR having the option for an extra year. This means the R's will be in no hurry to let the playmaker go, especially after making a windfall by selling Eze to Crystal Palace last summer. However, we're sure they could be tempted should the right offer come their way. 9. Bryan Mbeumo. Now coming to the end of his second season in England, Bryan Mbeumo has shown he is more than capable of being a top performer in the Championship. In his debut campaign, the Frenchman scored 16 and set up 7 as part of a front three alongside Ben Rama and Watkins, with Brentford raking in over £50 million for the pair, who are now at West Ham and Aston Villa respectively. There's no reason to presume Mbeumo can't go the same way. Now operating alongside Ivan Toney and Sergi Canos, Mbeumo has contributed another 18 goals, meaning he has contributed to over a quarter of the goals Brentford have scored in the Championship since his arrival in 2019. The 21-year-old, who has represented his country at youth level, has averaged 1.7 shots, 1 key pass and 1 dribble over the last 2 seasons. This year in particular, he has seen his key passes rise from 0.8 to 1.3, showing his creative threat much more than his goal-scoring prowess. If Brentford fall in the playoffs again, a Premier League side should come calling. 8. Adam Armstrong. The first player on this list to have already played in the Premier League, Adam Armstrong is displaying the form that saw him become a hotly tipped prospect at Newcastle United. But 17 appearances for the Magpies yielded no goals, and in 2018 Blackburn Rovers took a £1.7 million gamble for the former Coventry, Barnsley and Bolton loanee. 3 years on since signing for the former Premier League champions, and the trust shown in him at Ewood Park is finally starting to reap rewards. 21 goals total in the 24-year-old's first 2 campaigns has now been topped by 28 this season alone, putting him behind just Ivan Toney and Teemu Pukki in the Championship scoring charts, as well as being the only player to score more than 1 hat-trick in the division, as Armstrong has taken the match ball home on 3 occasions. His upturn isn't by chance. Armstrong leads the league with 4.7 shots a game, 1.4 more than next best Pukki, and a total that is more than double his efforts last season. This is all whilst Blackburn have again struggled in the league, having not challenged for a playoff spot since 2013-14. Armstrong definitely deserves better than that. 7. Ovie Ejaria. 23 years old, Ovie Ejaria has been a Reading player since January 2019, having initially joined on loan from Liverpool. Last summer though, his temporary stay became permanent, with the Royals spending £3.5 million to keep the midfielder at the Majeski Stadium, after making just 2 appearances in 6 years at Anfield. Last season Ejaria was deployed centrally, but this time around he is more likely to be playing at left wing, yet his numbers have remained remarkably consistent throughout. In both years the London-born talent has scored 3 and set up 5, clocking up around 3,200 minutes each year too. Whilst 1.3 shots and 1.4 key passes per 90 are solid numbers over the last 2 seasons, his dribbling is his standout ability. In each of the last 2 campaigns, he's topped the rankings in the Championship for dribbles per 90, with 3.1 in 1920 and 2.7 in 2021. There's no reason to believe Ejaria won't once more replicate these performances next season as well, wherever Reading boss Veljko Paunovic decides to put him on the pitch. 6. Ben Cabango. It's always harder to judge defensive players, so the only one to have made our list is Swansea centre-back Ben Cabango. Just 2 years on from a loan spell in the Welsh Premier League with the New Saints, where he scored his first professional goal in the Champions League qualifying stages, the 20-year-old is already a regular starter for the Swans. The Cardiff-born defender started 28 matches this season, in which his side conceded just 19 goals. In the other 18 matches, Swansea let in 20 goals, showing they were far stronger with the youngster at the back. His 1.4 tackles and 1.6 interceptions had him in the top 5 for both categories at the Liberty Stadium. Comfortably filling the hole left by Joe Rodon last summer, Cabango could be the next big name out of the Swansea City Academy. But with the Swans currently in the playoffs and on the cusp of promotion back to the Premier League, Cabango could get his shot in the top flight a lot sooner than expected, and be worth more than former teammate Rodon too. 5. Arnaut Danjuma. Ultimately a toss-up between Danjuma and Solanke for the most influential player at Bournemouth this campaign, we've decided to bring you the lesser known of the two. Signed for £14 million from Club Brugge at the beginning of the 2019-20 season, the 24-year-old had no goal contributions in 14 appearances for the Cherries in the Premier League. But it's a different story this season. The Dutchman has found the back of the net 15 times and laid on a further 7 goals for teammates, with his 22 total goal contributions only bettered by Solanke at the Vitality Stadium. This is his best output since playing in the Dutch second tier in 17-18. As the Nigerian-born winger looks to play his way back into the Netherlands squad, with whom he has just 2 caps. Danjuma's attempted 2.2 shots a game, whilst his 1.5 key passes and 1.8 dribbles per 90 topped the ranks amongst his teammates, as he's finally starting to repay the fee that made him Bournemouth's 6th biggest signing. If Jonathan Woodgate's Cherries fail in their playoff push, Danjuma could be amongst the most exciting attacking talents ready for a step up. 4. Harry Wilson. This might be cheating a little bit considering Harry Wilson is already on the books at a Premier League club, but at this moment it looks like the Welshman doesn't have a future at Liverpool. In fact, having yet to make a league appearance for the Reds, his only top-level experience was with a relegated Bournemouth side last season. This campaign, Wilson has been at Cardiff City, where he has continued to impress, having already notched 23 goals and 7 assists in previous loan spells with Hull and Derby in this division. And this year, the 24-year-old has 7 goals, including 1 hat-trick and a career-high 11 assists. The set-piece specialist has taken 2 shots a game and completed 1.7 key passes per 90, continuing a rise in his numbers since his championship debut with Hull in 2018. It looks like Liverpool will continue their track record of selling youngsters who have barely featured at Anfield for a lot of money this summer, and it's hard to argue that a side shouldn't take a shot on Wilson in the Premier League. 3. Daryl Dike. After failing to win any of their first 7 matches, Barnsley suffered just 3 defeats between February and May, seeing them rise from mid-table to the playoffs. And this run coincided with one of the most under-the-radar signings of the campaign, picking up Daryl Dike on loan. Joining from MLS side Orlando City, where he scored 8 in 17 matches last year, Dike only earned his work permit on February the 1st, as he made his international debut a day earlier. And the Tykes will be glad he did, as the 20-year-old has struck 9 times in 19 appearances, effectively averaging 1 goal every 3 halves of football he's played. Averaging just 1.7 shots a match, all of the American's goals have come in victories for Barnsley, who will face Swansea in the playoffs, with his loan being extended through to the end of the campaign despite the new MLS season already being underway. There is reportedly a £14 million option for Barnsley to buy Dike. It may be 7 times their current transfer record, but if Barnsley achieve the unlikely by getting promoted, it's surely a no-brainer. If not, somebody else will. 2. Ivan Toney. You might be surprised that Ivan Toney hasn't landed at number 1, but seeing as that's where he was in our recent Biggest Championship Stories video that went out a couple of weeks ago, we thought we'd give someone else top spot. And besides, what else is there to say about Toney that hasn't been said already? The Brentford striker finished with 31 goals, edging out Glenn Murray's record of 30 for Crystal Palace in 2012-13 for the most in a single championship campaign. But unlike Murray, this is Toney's first campaign at this level, having spent the last 4 years in League One. The 25-year-old also bagged 10 assists, level with teammate Mbeumo for 5th most in the division, while his 41 total goal contributions is 8 better than anyone else too. It's almost certain that Ivan Toney will be a Premier League striker next season. It's just a case of will it be with Brentford, and if it isn't, just how much will it cost to take him to the top tier. 1. Michael Olise. So instead of Toney, we've gone for Michael Olise, who's exploded onto the Championship scene in similar fashion this campaign. The former Chelsea and Manchester City youth player has been with the Berkshire club since 2016. He made his first team debut in 2019 and is still only 19 years old. This season has seen the attacking midfielder transform from hot prospect to star player, starting 37 and appearing in all but 2 of the Royals League games, with only 3 outfield players appearing more regularly. Olise has scored 7 and set up 12, with his assist total second to just Emi Buendia in the Championship. Olise, who was born in London but has played for France under-19s and has been on standby for the Nigeria national team as recently as March, is very hot property, having been linked with the likes of Aston Villa, Leeds and Liverpool. The left footer has attempted 1.6 shots a match and completed 1.9 key passes and 1.3 dribbles each game, making him one of the most unpredictable attackers in English football's second tier. It could be a struggle for Reading to hold on to this gem. And that's all we have time for today, but did we miss anyone out? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Bye for now.